It's Valentine's Day, so if you're here single and in love with crypto or in love with data, or very sad and you're just going to go out of your house, pretend nothing is happening. Thanks for coming. So today today is a special day. Wait, first. We just reached 1,000 members on Meetup, so this was last night. I thought, oh, probably we'll have it to be in another event, and then suddenly it just popped up. So it's pretty cool after 10 months and 24 events. Yeah, I'm happy that for the occasion we've got Paul, who I don't know when you came first, but like I think you were one of the first people who came, and like finally he's gonna talk to us about
been attending, not asking, so.
all the love he's got for data and blockchain. So
and thanks Epitech and Adrian as well for organizing an Epitech for a venue as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I can start, right?
Yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, so today I'm gonna give a quick intro talk. It's gonna be super basic about one of the tools, the main tools, what I personally use on analytics, on blockchain analytics. It's called Dune. Let's see how it works.
Maybe down.
Okay. Yeah, so quickly about me. So I'm actually been doing analytics since 2013 in Web 2 companies, so been leading, helping to build projects, and mainly being a bridge between technical teams and business. And actually, I learned about crypto in 2016, and obviously I got burned by 2017 crash, as many people. Anyone else got burned by 17? Oh, okay. Not many people. Okay. And I discovered like on-chain analytics 2018-19 approximately, because I just kept getting like bad decisions within investing. And as you will see, you actually can access a lot of data on-chain, and it's available for everyone. You just need to know how to summarize it. So by the way, yeah, if you go into the toilet and you will see me coming behind, so just know I will speak about data, right? Be careful. So I would like to know a little bit more about audience. So anyone has heard about Dune Analytics before? Okay, we have a few people, right? Adrian? Yep. Who used it? What did you use for? You mind asking? What did you use it for? What did you look for?
DeFi dashboard.
DeFi dashboards. Did you build it, or you actually access someone else's dashboards?
I took some of these samples and I built some.
That's amazing. That's the best way to learn, I think so. Yeah.
It's hard.
Someone else?
Similar use case, DeFi, and I checked some dashboard done by others at Uniswap.
Amazing. Amazing. What about you? Same. Okay. Awesome. Who knows what Etherscan is? Okay. None of the coders from university know about Etherscan. No? Okay. That's good. That's good. Who has used on-chain apps like Uniswap, OpenSea, and etc.? All right. Okay. That's amazing. So you all know what if you use some app, you actually can see the history of that app. Cool. And even 3 startup founders as well, just random question. Or any startup founders in that case. Okay, amazing. We have couple. Do we have anyone who worked previously in Web 2 analytics or any type of role where you needed to access data? Yeah, so can you tell me about your experience? Is it hard to access data from your company?
At the beginning, I guess it was, but then you got all the tools like GA or Adobe Analytics that are pretty well done and integrated with the business you're working. So,
what about if you want to see data about your competition?
Very hard.
Very hard, right? And it's usually
surface data is easy, but deep user level data is more tough to get.
Right. Yeah, so basically I need to mention some of these slides are done by Dune team, and we shared it as an intro, and I have added few things. So as well, if you have any questions, just jump in and ask. I think so that would be the best way to do it. So usually, like access is proprietary, you need to pay for access, or slow in the usual cases, right? And a lot of repeated work, high barrier to entry, and less innovation. For example, as you said, if you use some dashboard, you can copy and apply for any other project in Web3, right? However, in all these Web2 legacy systems, let's say, call it that way, you have one analyst who usually build within a company, and you have another person who builds it. It's way more like closed, right? Not open. So, however, in crypto, like I think so. What we wanted to say was anyone can swim in crypto waters, you know, and data available to you, and because it has a shared public backend, and you can analyze everything live. And I think so. What's maybe not everyone agrees here, but I think so. What blockchain technology in general is inevitable. What is gonna be our day-to-day use cases will come up more and more, and from that, how we analyze data gonna change as well, because you need to know how to analyze on-chain relationships. So it's way easier actually to analyze than closed databases. And this is what I just mentioned. And it's actually real-time, flexible, and it can be community-driven. At the same time, so Web3 data is the dream space for data-curious people and crypto-curious people at the same time. What is Dune? So Dune is the first community data platform that aims to empower the curious to come together to data. That's their slogan, I assume. It's open to everyone, and it's composable, and it's community-driven. So if I have an idea how to build a dashboard, and I want to contribute to a project, I can easily do it just by accessing data to Dune. So it contains three main tables. So it would be raw tables, which we want to see. It's basically a representation of data, how it's presented on a blockchain. We have decoded tables that allows, data is a little bit more structured, and you can way easier access and make sense of the data. And you have spellbook abstractions. So as not many people know about Web3 here, I guess maybe 30% of people familiar, right? So let's say in the pre-world, you might have different exchanges, right, across different blockchains. So what abstraction can do, it's actually standardizes data across different DEXs, so decentralized exchanges, and you can access through the same table. So you basically can see the wallet address, which would be, let's say, myself would use a wallet if I want to trade on a DEX, right? But I can use the same wallet across many different DEXs. So if I would input my wallet address, I would be able to analyze my historical performance of my trade. So abstractions allow to summarize it and group everything together for easier analysis. So their slogan is the data must flow, empowering the curious to come together with data. Sorry. Okay, so how is the data flowing? So as you know, blockchain data is open by default, but it's not very organized or accessible. So what Dune Analytics do, as I just mentioned previously, it's actually standardizes. So people like myself who are actually interested in analytics, just analytics part, they don't need to know about the backend and how backend works, right? Do you agree with that? If you want to access data, it should be easy, and you basically can begin, right? You don't want to know how to build the database itself. So you have different wallets, you have different Web3 applications as Uniswap, OpenSea, you have block explorers, as you will see how data is structured in block explorers. And the Dune Analytics actually, it's an open data infrastructure which allows to analyze the data in an easy manner, I would say. Sorry, going the wrong way. So, gonna show like some simple examples of simple transaction. So, does everyone know what DAI is? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many people know? Not many? Okay. So DAI is basically, let's say you can compare it to stablecoin, to US dollar, which is minted through some different assets, right? So what we're gonna see here is simple transaction between, you send DAI to Uniswap, which is the DEX, so it's exchange, and you receive 100 USDC back. So we're gonna see Etherscan representation of this transaction. So in Etherscan, usually we'll be able to see a transaction hash, which actually would show exactly what happened and when it happened. So we'll be able to see the block, the timestamp, how much was swapped, and you see here the Uniswap router, the contract which manages the swap itself. So here is as well this visual representation. I don't know if everyone can see this. As well, once you have a transaction happening, you have many logs. So logs, you will see the schema just now. So logs actually show the different events, what happened when the transaction was sent and when the contract was initiated. So while it signs a transaction, that calls function. That function calls data and signals what TX was signed. So it generates the transaction. So all these bottom tables, we will see how they are represented in Dune Analytics as well. So we'll be able to compare the Etherscan representation and the actually structured data representation. Afterwards, we have a subTX. One function is called it emits event, and it would be highlighted in our logs table. Okay, yes, so the same transaction. So in Dune Analytics, you actually, if you would query transactions data, you have a table named here, you would be able to see exactly the same data. I'm just gonna go back. So we can see here a log hash. If you go back, we can see exactly the same representation of data in a tabular form, which is way easier to analyze it, right? So here we have as well traces of a transaction and logs. I think so this is kind of a little bit harder to analyze data through logs, but sometimes it's necessary if contracts are not decoded. And once you're actually interested in Web3 analytics, you basically can access anything through what contract has emitted, and you can analyze it as you wish. So basically, what can you build? Well, basically everything. Data views, reports, you can track wallets, and etc. So I think so now we're going to go into more interesting part for some people, I guess, and show you some actually useful reports, what I personally use quite a lot on a daily basis when I'm analyzing on-chain activities. I don't know if anyone has any questions so far. No? Okay. So as well, we have some representations of different graphs. So I don't know if anyone knows FTX and the biggest collapse. So you could actually build a dashboard and you would be able to see the net flows of the exchange. So imagine how as well, this great use case, right, in my opinion. So FTX was collapsing and you have thousands of random people building the dashboards and analyzing what's happening and investigating in real time. How valuable is this? And that wasn't happening when Lehman Brothers was collapsing, right? So I think so it's super valuable in my opinion. As well, you can create the dashboards on NFT volumes, on ETH staking, and curve liquidity pool between ST, ETH, and ETH representation of a peg. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some dashboards. So you can see like, this tool, by the way, I didn't mention, it has a free tier, so I'm usually using free tier, and I can access anything I wish. Obviously, sometimes it might be slow. So one of the things what I have shared with the Web3 community is, what I do a lot, I analyze a lot of wallets performance and how wallets trade. And if I find some nice traders, I usually try to copy trade or see what we're investing so I can be before everyone else hears about it. So one of the tools what I use is, I have built this dashboard so you actually can see how wallets traded a particular coin. So you can input the address, you can input the token address, and it basically shows a representation of their trades, right? So you can see there how much we spent on this. So some guy, some address, whatever I have added here, he spent 100 million on buying ETH, right? And he didn't sell it all, but he sold it 83 million of that, right? So we can see at what average price in the analyzed history he actually bought it, and at what average price he sold it. At the same time, you can see what this guy was quite early in the trend and started selling, right? And he got a deposit and sold at a peak. How good of a trader he is, if he can time or at least be accurate with his trades. I think so that's quite valuable information. Right? Imagine if you would be able to trade someone on a Wall Street who just does perfect trading, you know, and you can find the wallet and account and copy trade him. Yeah, so as well you can see the DEX trades. So I don't know if you know, but basically when you can trade in two different exchanges. One is centralized exchange, which doesn't share the trades history, right? And you have decentralized exchanges where every transaction is recorded. So here you can see the volume of buys, and you can actually even dig deeper and analyze each trade separately. So another great report, what I'm usually using on a daily level, it's built by Coffee. I don't think so it shows the full screen, but it's fine. So you have a different hot contracts. What does that mean? So imagine you have a contract address and you can see how many users interacted with that contract. And when you can see interaction growing from week 1 to week 2, let's say by 100%, by 200%, by 300%. So that means what some topic might be hot, but maybe someone knows something about it and the user growth just insane. So you probably would want to check that out and see if there is any opportunities for you out there. Because you might hear it, but it might be too late already. Another cool dashboard what I use, again, so it's token analyzer. It's basically, everyone heard about any token, right? In crypto, Doge, like ETH, right? So you basically can input the token address in this dashboard and it would show all the recent activity, the wallets who buy it, and etc. So you can actually find some interesting size buys, you know? Well, this is kind of a similar dashboard as well. Another cool dashboard is ETH overview. So you actually can build the summary of the chain. How does it perform? How much gas was spent? How many people are using it? So you actually can see in a with live data if the demand is out here. You know, so if no demand, maybe you just want to swing and try to find other opportunities in other chains.
Did you build these reports? Or?
Some of them are mine, but some of them are not. But I have the list of good accounts to follow afterwards with the link to each of the dashboards. Sure.
You're speaking about the use case of trading.
Yeah.
There is another tool that's made maybe more specifically to that. For that, it's called Nansen. I'm just curious to know if you. Okay.
I actually contribute to Nansen as well. Okay. So with one of the dashboards what I have built, it's similar what we have in their token analyzer thing, or actually wallet profiler for token. But I have built on my own separately because I added a few additional dashboards. So you actually can build a lot of that through Dune Analytics without paying, because where paywall is, it's a great tool, you know, I love it. I use it every day, you know. Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. So, and here are many, but because data is available for you, you know, you can actually build those dashboards yourself. But obviously, the Nansen's big advantage is what they have a lot of wallets labeled, and we have some algorithms running behind there. We can classify if wallet is a smart trader or what we do, you know. So absolutely, you should check it out. You should check it out. Anyone who uses it.
Do you like cross-reference it? Like, can you label wallets also
on Dune Analytics? Well, you have labels. Okay, let me tell you that. So if you do a lot of work and you analyze a particular wallet, right, and you find a great trader, do you want everyone to know?
But can you have like private labels?
Not through free. I think so, not through free one. But what you can do, here are over tools as well. There you can actually connect to the database. I don't know if Dune provides that though, you know. But you can connect to database, and if you have your table with labels, I know over people who use Nansen and Glory for that, and we can just join addresses and we have the labels. Yes, I don't know if Dune provides that though. So another cool thing. So you know, here is many different use cases, but here this one is about NFT. So you actually can input NFT contract, the date range, and it literally spit out all the information about who is buying, when we bought it, what size we bought it, how long we held it, and etc. You know, that's a great report for any collection. You know, so we can use exactly the same dashboard for like hundreds of collections. So imagine now in your company, in your competition, right? You probably would have a similar KPIs and similar tools, but they would be like all would be built separately. You know, so it's a lot of repetition. Another one tool which I use again, a dashboard. It's called Bridge Away. So because ETH is one of the biggest chains, so you actually can see where capital is flowing and to which chains it is flowing. So, for example, now we see what a lot of capital is flowing to Polygon, Arbitrum, and Optimism. But let's say Phantom overtakes and jumps to the first place. So it probably would be interesting to see, oh, what opportunities are on here, right? Because it's big capital, it's billions of dollars flowing out there, you know. So someone is trying to find opportunities or invest or whatever we're trying to do. Another cool dashboard is GMX. Anyone knows GMX? What is GMX? Yeah. Okay, so GMX is basically the perps trading tool. What are perps? You basically can trade synthetic assets by providing collateral, so you can go long, short, and etc. But why I like it, this dashboard especially, because on-chain trading is picking up probably like 1 year maybe, right? And you actually can see long and short open interest, so you can see how retail participants actually, how we position. So you can see what retail participants were positioned long 5 days ago, but we actually don't, so it can be a counter trading signal as well. Yeah, so here are the good accounts to follow. Definitely, like, majority of people have multiple good dashboards, so just feel free to dig in. I will share these slides later, so you can easily access it. And probably like another use case which I didn't really mention here, so I don't know why, but if you have any project built in Web3, you can build a nice summary dashboard about your user base, how many addresses or users, let's say, are coming back to user service. You really can build live analytics on your user base. Plus, you can analyze your competition, so you actually can see which tool performs better and take real-time learnings. If you're ready to know more, you definitely should check all the links that are added here. So you have a different docs about that, which describes everything about Dune Analytics, such as architecture and what we are working on. You have quite good trainings, which is 12 days of Dune about the text analytics. It's super useful if you want to get a good knowledge and understanding how the simple flows works. And basically much more on here. You can scan and jump into their Discord. Probably important to note what if you want to start learning Dune Analytics, you need to know some basic level of SQL. You don't jump on the Discord and ask like how to select from where. Just go and read the documents, because look, I sometimes go and I try to jump and quickly get advice, but it's probably like better just to learn a little bit about SQL. It's not that complicated. I mean, once you know their data is where, you definitely can get a lot of insights. And I wanted to add a few more things. So other tools, what they use. So breadcrumbs, it's one of the tools which allows to visualize on-chain flows in a nice graphical way, as well as Nansen, as I mentioned, that they have a paywall. So Nansen is used for as well on-chain analytics and actionable analytics, and we have like wallets labeled, and we have a segmentation of wallets who are considered smart money or not smart money, good traders, bad traders, and etc. It's a great tool. As well, I use Cielo, which is actually Univeil's DAO. It's a token-gated community, but great community, a lot of insights, a lot of smart people, many different venture funds, and etc. As well, Arham. Arham is a new tool which I discovered quite recently. It allows to visualize as well wallets, same as the breadcrumbs. And DeFi Llama has all on-chain statistics about different protocols. So you know how much value locked, and many more actually. It's a great tool to just check it out. If you have a project in mind you want to invest, you definitely should go first and check DeFi Llama to understand their metrics and compare against their peers in the same field. And yeah, basically crypto doesn't work. We go back to McDonald's, Thank you very much. That's it actually. Sure.
Can it provide data on other blockchain ecosystems than Ethereum?
Yeah, I think so. It has Ethereum, Avalanche, Polygon, Arbitrum, Solana, and maybe more, but yeah. Majority EVM compatibles and Solana, as far as I know. But it was the thing is, what we had the first version of the engine, they migrated to Spark SQL, and now we're migrating to Dune SQL, which should improve. But with the same change, it's obviously like it's hard to change already existing databases, so it can be sometimes some issues. So that's.
Sure. So surely they cannot index all the smart contracts. There's so many of them, right?
Yeah.
So I know you can request if your smart contract is not indexed, but do they also proactively add new smart contracts? And if so, how does the Dune team fix which one to go for?
Well, I think so. I don't know how they actually work. I don't work for them. I'm just a power user. But as far as I know, if you submit a contract, we're gonna try to decode it right? I don't know how we prioritize it, but we do
So
it.
it's purely on demand.
I think so, but at the same time, you have all these like raw transactional data. So before we decode the contract, you can always jump in and actually analyze from here, from these tables. However, it's a little bit more complicated, and you actually need to know how to read the logs and what contract does.
You're very low level.
Exactly, yes.
getting,
For example, here you have a
complex
topic
to
one.
use, Dune, right?
You literally have a topic 1, topic 2, topic
Yeah,
3,
you
right?
need to know. Then you need to go in the doc of the protocol and figure
But
out
you
which
can,
one. Which
you can
one.
come to TX and actually you can
Yeah,
see what
I tried, but it's
this is transfer.
it's a waste of
transfer.
time.
Yeah, it's a bit more complicated. It's a bit more
It's a
complicated.
euphemism to say it's a bit complicated.
Yeah, it's a bit, you need to know how this stuff works, you know. Yes.
Do you know when they will introduce API access?
I have no. You definitely need to check that in their Discord. But I think so. We did have API access if I'm not
When I
mistaken.
look into it, they said like they will introduce it soon.
So, okay.
It's been beta.
Well, I have no comment on that, unfortunately. Yeah. But here is a lot of competition now ramping up as well. So you know, probably soon, I guess. Anyone?
I guess that they in SQL, the data that they're using like fetching from private.
Well, I think so. They have nodes running and we just decode the data. Yeah, it's storing the data themselves. It should. I don't know about full architecture, backend architecture. If you check the docs, you definitely should have them lined up there. Yeah.
So they have their own data, yeah, for sure. And so every 2 minutes, they sync every new data and store it on their own database of course database.
I guess it's not directly from the
No,
Well, you need to index the data and store it somewhere else. There it's more structured, I guess, and after that. So it's a copy of a blockchain.
you don't create the blockchain.
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys any questions?
It's not like
No?
It's right now. Who uses Dune Analytics most? Is it mostly for trading?
No, I think so. Everyone, like any protocol, basically has their own dashboard. You know, I don't know why I added a lot of trading stuff, but this is what I mainly look at when I trade. Was any protocol has the summary of their protocol, and Dune Analytics. Yeah, DeFi or any project that has token, you can build a nice summary about your token holders, you know, all the analytics to issue about your customers who interact with your protocols. Nice one. Awesome. Thank you.